PLE 7 Dressmaking Lesson 1 is all about sewing tools and equipment. Before we discuss the lesson, let's find out what you know about this topic. Choose the letter of the best answer. Write your chosen letter on your paper. What tool is intended for cutting off or ripping out stitches from seam? Is it A, buttonhole scissor, B, embroidery scissor, C, rotary cutter and mat, or D, seam ripper? Which of the following is not a type of shears? Is it A, cutting shears, B, pinking shears, C, scalloping shears, or D, zigzag shears? Number 3. What marking tool is essential as a marker for use on materials? Is it A, pencil, B, tailor's chalk, C, tracing wheel, or D, wax chalk? Number 4. What tool has a rated edge wheel and a smooth edge wheel? A, marking pen, B, pencil, C, tracing wheel, or D, shears? Number 5. What tool is used in constructing lines in pattern drafting? Is it A, gauge, B, hip curve, C, L-square, or D, yardstick? I will give you 10 seconds to think of your answer, and your timer starts now. Time is up. For number 1, the correct answer is D, seam ripper. For number 2, the type of shear which is not included as a type of shear is letter D, zigzag shears. Number 3, the correct answer is B, tailor's chalk. It is very essential for a tailor or a dressmaker. Number 4, what tool has a rated edge wheel and a smooth edge wheel? That is letter C, tracing wheel. And number 5, the correct answer is C, L-square. Did you get it all correct? If not, don't worry. We are going to discuss all of this, and we are going to use all of these tools. Let's try again, one more time. What tool is used to shape the depth of the neck holes and armholes? Is it A, French curve, B, hip curve, C, tailor's chalk, or D, wax chalk? Number 7. What tool is made of non-stretchable strip used in taking body measurements? A, ruler, B, sewing gauge, C, tape measure, or D, yardstick? Number 8. Which of the following measuring tool is used for general marking and for measuring fabric grain line when laying out the pattern? Is it A, chalk pencil, B, liquid marking pen, C, tape line, or D, yardstick? Number 9. Which of the following tool is a small cup placed on tip of the middle finger to protect it from being prickled by the needle while sewing? Is it A, hand needle, B, drafting table, C, pin cushion, or D, thimble? Number 10. What tool has a handy little spring that allows the snipping of threads? Is it A, seesaw, B, seam ripper, C, shears, or D, thread clipper? I will give you 10 seconds to think of your answer. Again, your timer starts now. Time's up. Let's answer. For number 6, the correct answer is A, French curve. Number 7, tape measure. Number 8, chalk pencil. Number 9, thimble. And number 10, thread clipper. Did you get it all correct? If yes, well done. If not, we will start our lesson in a while. Let's define. Sewing tools are instruments that aid in accomplishing a sewing task. These are those which don't require the use of electricity. These are used manually or by hand. Sewing equipment is needed for sewing which aid in constructing of garments of good quality and appearance. These are those which require the use of electricity, such as the sewing machine. Sewing kit is a small package containing items such as threads, pins, needles, and others that you need to sew something. Classification of sewing tools and materials. We classify them into 4: the measuring tools, the cutting tools, marking tools, and pinning and sewing tools. And the materials, of course. For measuring tool, these are instruments used for obtaining quantities, dimension, or forces of real-world objects. They are also tools used to differentiate distances on particular materials or objects. Number 1 sewing tool is a tape measure. It is also known as tape line. It is made of non-stretchable strip used in taking body measurement. It measures 150 centimeters in the front side and 60 inches on the other side. Number 2 measuring tool is a sewing gauge. It is a small ruler with a sliding guide and is about 6 inches long, used to measure small hem areas and short distances like hem folds, pleats, seam, allowance, buttonholes, and tucks. Number 3, measuring tool is a ruler. This is the most common measuring device, usually 12 inches long. It is used for general marking. It aids in correcting lines. Next, we have yardstick. It is used for general marking and for measuring fabric grain line when laying out the pattern. This is a 1 meter long wooden stick and is used to measure fabric length by yard or by meter. Next, we have the cutting tools. The cutting tools are a cutting implement tool for cutting. These are instruments that serve well if properly monitored. They should not be used for other household tasks. They must be sharpened regularly, and the joints are oiled occasionally for better use. In other words, they should be kept in good working order for periodic sharpening. Sharp cutting tools make clean cut and well-defined notches, and they do not damage fabric. On the other hand, a dull tool slow the cutting process and make your hand and wrist the easily. Number 1 cutting tool is a shear. These are for cutting fabric, paper, and other material. What are the types of shear we have? Cutting shears has a blade that are straight and best for cutting fabrics, usually 7 to 12 inches long. So, isa sa mga type of shear is a cutting shear. Next, we have the pinking shears. Has a zigzag edge used to cut the edge of seam, allowance of fabric that does not roll. It is used also for cutting decorative materials. Another type of shear is the scalloping shear. It is a tool that has scallop blades used to cut parts of garments with series of uniform scallops. Trimming scissors. These are 3 to 4 inches long, used for trimmings, clipping threads, and snipping slashes. Buttonhole scissors. These are intended for making buttonholes. Another cutting tool is a seam ripper. This tool is intended for cutting off or ripping out stitches from seam, either as a result of an error or during alterations. Next, we have embroidery scissor. It is a sharp, pointed scissors, usually 4 to 5 inches long, used in cutting fine, delicate cloth and thread in embroidery work. Number 6, we have thread clipper. It is a handy little spring-loaded cutting tool that allow for snipping of threads. Rotary cutter and nut. These are used by the garment industry. It works like a pizza cutter and can be used by left or right-handed sewers. It works on a cutting mat to protect the blade and the cutting surface. Marking tools. Marking tools are required for transferring pattern makings to garment fabric pieces and for making alterations on garment. Number 1 marking tool is a tailor's chalk. This is essential as a marker for use on materials. It is available in a variety of colors and it is used to mark the fabric. It is made of hard chalk and can be removed by brushing. Number 2, we have tracing wheel. This is an instrument with serrated edge wheel that produces dots on the fabric. The smooth one creates a straight solid line. Another marking tool is the Dressmaker's carbon paper. It is specially waxed carbon paper that transfer the tracing wheel markings to the fabric. This is available in different brands with different instructions. Number 4, we have chalk pencils or Dressmakers pencil. This is available in white or pastel shades. This is used to make line on fabric. It has an erasing brush at the end. Number 5, we have the liquid marking pen. It comes in 2 types. The one that washes out and it should not be used on fabric that show watermarks. Another one is that the fade after 48 hours. The mark should be removed before pressing the fabric. Next marking tool is the wax chalk. This is available in black or white and is used in for woolen fabrics. Wax can be removed by pressing. Pinning and sewing tool. These are devices used to fasten or designed to pierce on the fabric or any material or to join 2 or more garment parts temporarily while doing sewing operation. Number 1 pinning sewing tool is the pin cushion. It is a cushion available in different shapes and colors, used to hold pins and needles to prevent them from accident and scattering in the workplace. Next, we have pinning and sewing tools. We have number 1, hand needle. These are available in different sizes and used for temporary stitches. hemming, and other sewing purposes. Sizes are from 7 to 10 inches. Centimeter pala. Pinning and sewing tool. Number 3 is a sewing needle threader. This is a diamond-shaped wire attached to a handle and wire used to insert thread through the needle eye. It consists of two parts, the handle and the wire. Pinning and sewing tool. Next, we have the thimble. This is a small cup placed on the tip of the middle finger to protect it from being prickled by the needle while sewing. It is made of metal or plastic. These are the materials needed. We have fabric. It is the cloth used in making garments, the plain cotton fabrics. Flour sack or katcha is the most applicable material for beginners because these are very easy to handle. Thread, it is used assembling or constructing the parts of the garment. These vary in sizes and color. Heavy fabrics need stronger thread. Thread should have the same color with that of the fabric used. So, kung ano yung ginamit nyong tela, dapat pag nanahika, same thread, color thread. Huwag na huwag kang gagamit ng ibang sinulid sa pananahi kasi makikita yon. Okay? The purpose is for beautification. Okay? Para hindi siya kita yung sinulid sa tela o sa damit. Drafting tools. These are the instruments used for making paper patterns. We have the L square, the hip curve, and the French curve. The L square is called Taylor square, which is one of the most basic of the pattern making. This is an aluminum ruler with 90 degrees angle. It has two arms corrected perpendicularly and used to draw or make construction lines in pattern drafting, while the hip curve is a stick made of metal or wood calibrated on both sides used to form the hip line and other areas of the garments that need to be curved. French curve is an instrument made of flat metal, plastic, or wood used to shape the depth of the neck holes, armholes, and collar. Next, we have the drafting table. It is wooden table used to draft the pattern paper laid on a smooth and firm surface. Pressing tools. Ito na yung final. Pagkatapos mong manahi, paplansyahin. Pressing tools, these are tools used to make the fabrics or materials smooth, to give a form or shape, to remove crease or wrinkles with the application of heat, moisture, and pressure. It involves no sliding of iron. It is done by lifting and placing the iron on the fabric in up and down motion. It is the application of heat, moisture, and pressure to crease fabric. It may be done during assembly to facilitate other operation, and it may be done to improve quality of the fabric for final finishing process. So here are the tools under pressing. We have number 1, flat iron. It is roughly triangular flat surface that is heated, used to press clothes, to remove wrinkled, flattened seam, and crease hems. Iron board or ironing board. It is a long, narrow board and flat padded cloth covered surface with collapsible supporting legs used as a working with iron. Next, we have the sleeve board. It is a small ironing board used for pressing narrow areas such as sleeves and trouser legs. Next, we have pressing ham. It is tightly stopped pillow used in a curved mold when pressing curved areas of the garment such as sleeves, collars, necklines, darks, and others. Number 3, pressing cloth. The pieces of fabric used to protect the items or garment while pressing. The purpose of using the pressing cloth is to prevent from scorching on shiny fabrics, to protect the iron and the garment surface for ironing. For your learning task 1, analyze the sentence below. Choose your answer inside the box and then write your answer on your intermediate paper. I will give you 30 seconds to think of your answer, and your timer starts now. Time is up. Let us check your work. When you make a mistake in sewing, what essential tool might you need? What is your answer for question number 1? Is it pin, seam ripper, running stitch, sewing machine, needle, pinking shear, or presser foot? The correct answer is seam ripper. Pag nagkakamali ka at kailangan mong tastasin yung natahi mo, you will use the seam ripper. Number 2, one way to finish a seam and keep the fabric from raveling is to trim them with what special type of shear? Anong shear ang gagamitin mo? That is pinking shears. Next, what sewing tool is used to hold the fabric together temporarily? Bago mo siya tahiin, pinagdidikit mo muna. Anong ginagamit natin dito? Para temporary mapagdikit natin yung dalawang cloth, 2 pieces of cloth. If your answer is pins, you are right. Next, what part of sewing machine that holds the fabric while sewing? Okay, ang tamang sagot ay pressure foot. Number 5, what kind of machine that makes sewing easier and faster? Ano pa nga ba? Pinakamabilis na sa pagnananahi kapag tayo ay gumagamit ng sewing machine. Did you get it all correct? I hope so. If not, go back, watch the video over and over until you get it all correct. For your learning task 2, it is a crossword puzzle. Write the term being described by the statement on your intermediate pad paper. Okay, so I need 4 answers for this. This is used to as marker on the material. Okay, so number 1, pababa. So we have how many letters? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Next, number 2, it is essential in sewing. Number 3, this is used as device for particular process with powered by electricity. 4, it is used in inserting thread to the needle. Inserting thread to the needle, ano ba yon? Alright, I will not tell you the answer, but you have to write your answer in a paper, and then you will send it to your Google Classroom, respective Google Classrooms. And for your online quiz, I will post the link on your FB page. But before you take the online quiz, I want to hear from you on your comment section. Okay? God bless you all.